A lot can change in 12 months. This time last year, CSG Systems was probably best known for supporting its multi-play customers, mainly cable and satellite operators, in their billing and customer care transactions. But CSG has recently completed the purchase of Intec telecom systems for $376 million. This makes CSG the world's #2 billing vendor with a wide and growing customer base. So I'm on my way to talk to two of their senior vice presidents, Dwayne Ruffin and David Heaps, to find out how their customers are growing their top-line revenue streams. Dwayne, David, very nice to see you both here. Can I start with you, Dwayne? What do you think are the revenue challenges facing communication service providers these days?
Yeah, I think it's really simple, Jeremy. It's understanding the consumer. What is it that the consumer is interested in purchasing, on what terms, whether that be subscription or usage-based, and really trying to interpret their intent so that you can right-size them to revenue packages that make sense for that consumer.
Yeah, I mean, looking specifically at the mobile world, I think the obvious challenge for the operators is how do they make sure that the massive explosion we're seeing in data volumes is not just a cost increase for the operator, but also provides revenue opportunities. And certainly, as we're all getting more devices, some of us have multiple devices, there's a big opportunity, but also a challenge for the operators.
You mentioned a challenge. I mean, how should communication service providers make that switch from a single subscriber, single device model to a single subscriber, multiple device model?
I think the answer is really very much in the question. It's about moving to a single view of the subscriber, so that the billing systems, the network systems, the OSS systems, all look at these accounts as a single account, so that discounts, loyalty points can be transferred between the two devices, and the subscriber gets a single consolidated invoice at the end of the day.
David, I understand that CSG has identified its top 5 revenue generating priorities. Can you elaborate? Help me here.
Yeah, well, I think the most important one, and one with which all the others flow, is really the need to move away from just getting revenue for data transport and simple voice services to start monetizing other types of services, so what we call content and content monetization. In order to do that, they need to be able to offer a much richer means of payment and monetization of those for the end user, and moving to a much more real-time model for offering and purchase of those services. We talked already about how subscribers are moving to some multi-device scenarios. Obviously that creates revenue opportunities for the operators, and in fact some of those devices may not even be associated with a subscriber. It may be machines talking amongst themselves, or machine-to-machine communication. And obviously what's enabling this is the huge increase in capacity and bandwidth, and obviously the rollout of 4G and LTE offers a promise of much more, and I think it's really incumbent on the operators to work out revenue models which allow them to realise the return on the investment for rolling out these LTE networks.
What does the combination of CSG Systems and Intec offer to service providers now that wasn't available before?
Yeah, I think it's really a nice intersection of domain expertise. We've got a long history of understanding the video market, and now our colleagues from Intec bring a pretty deep understanding of wireline and wireless from an operations perspective. So bringing those capabilities together, both people and product, to serve a broader customer base on a global basis.
So it's there's not an overlap in product, and there's not an overlap in geography either.
No, there's very little. In fact, it's very complementary. We're immediately looking at opportunities to apply the Intec products into our base, so there's no overlap there, just complementary. And when we think in terms of geography, again, there's very little overlap, and it just gives us a broader opportunity to extend our products into the Intec base, as well as to bring the Intec products into our base.
That sounds like a good fit.
It's a perfect fit.
I'm sure you've seen there's been some talk in the media about how ARPU is increasing. How is that happening at a time when so many people are looking at taking on lower priced data plans?
Well, I think some of it is what we talked about earlier, which is a lot of subscribers are having multiple devices, so each data plan individually may be low, but in aggregate they're producing higher revenues. I think also the point that Dwayne made earlier is about the operators starting to learn more about their customers, offering services which they want to buy, which may fall outside of the standard data plan, but they're buying supplementary services on top of the flat rate tariff.
So has CSG done much work in supporting machine-to-machine or end-to-end services?
And we have been involved in a couple of customers working on machine-to-machine type applications, and probably the biggest one being an in-vehicle telematics solution where we're providing the billing and mediation for that operator. Also more recently we've been working with Best Buy, a US consumer brand, supporting their data MVNO, and this is part of their vision towards a sort of more connected home, where the subscriber will have not just laptops and smartphones, but also a whole range of devices at home which are connected to the network via the mobile phone network, and we'll be providing all basically the billing infrastructure behind that.
Thank you both very much. Dwayne.
Thank you, John.
Really appreciate it. David, thank you.
Thank you very much.